Welcome to the Entrepreneur Happy Hour, where we dive into the world of business. I'm your host, Kimberlee Deneice, and each week we will bring you inspiring interviews, insightful business trends, and stories from entrepreneurs around the globe. Join us as we explore their journeys, uncover the highs and lows, and everything in between. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or a seasoned business owner, there is something here for you. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, and let's talk about business. I am excited today, not only because I get to interview entrepreneurs from around the world, but I'm excited that my guest today is none other than Gabriel Lindh. He is from Sweden. He's 31 years old. He's currently working as a commercial airline pilot, but he's also building an e-commerce business with his brother. He is so excited about this company because it's a problem that not only he has experienced, but he knows that others have experienced as well. And he is so excited that he and his brother can build something from the ground up. The name of the company is Naked Viking. On to the episode. Gabriel, thank you so much for being here with me today. I know we have a bit of a time difference, but I'm excited to get into this interview. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you. I've had a nice day. It's late afternoon, and so far the day's been going great.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I like to start with icebreaker questions because I always think it's so interesting to find out a little bit more about people before we hop into talking about entrepreneurship. So, the name of this podcast, as you know, is the Entrepreneur Happy Hour. And the tagline is grab your favorite beverage and let's talk about business. So, Gabriel, what is your favorite beverage?
Uh, this is my favorite. It's been for my favorite beverage for years, like ever since I can remember. And that's Coke. Just an ice cold Coca-Cola is probably my favorite beverage. It's very unhealthy, but that's what I love the most.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Listen, and you're being honest. Thank you for not trying to make up some like pretty drink. So we like what we like, don't we?
Yeah.
I love that. My next question for you is what is a fun fact about you that most people don't know?
Uh, well, a fun fact is that when I was a kid, I was very good at running on all four legs. So I could run really, really fast on all four legs. And some people even called me the dog because I could run so fast on all four legs.
Oh my goodness. That is so interesting. I love that. And as I stated in your intro, you are a pilot who decided to go into entrepreneurship. You're currently located in Sweden, and I know you come to the US from time to time. But I think that is so interesting that you kind of, have this amazing skill that you fly airplanes. Like when I say he's a pilot, y'all, I'm not just saying that. Like he is out here flying airplanes, traveling the world, and decided to start this business called Naked Viking, which, if you're searching for it, is NKD Viking. So definitely want to talk with you more about that. But I just think it's so interesting that you are a pilot and you're so young.
Yeah, it's definitely been a tough journey. And actually been a pilot now for about 9 years, or I started flight school about 9 years ago, and just been working my way up, and it's been challenging, and yeah, it's been great. I think that also prepared me a little bit for entrepreneurship. The fact that becoming a pilot was challenging, so I see a lot of benefits with me flying and working on the business.
I love that so much. And I love how you tied that in the challenges of being a pilot and going to flight school and now this transition. of going all in. I would say dipping your toe in, but you're going all in entrepreneurship. And I love that so much. So, my next question for you is this: what inspired you to launch your business? And if you don't mind sharing more about the story behind your entrepreneurial journey.
So this is not my first business, but what inspired me to start this specific business was the fact that uh, yeah, I do it together with my brother, and we both have very big legs. And there was a time, there was kind of the dropping point, which was when I was in Australia with a friend, and we were walking from Coogee Beach to Bondi Beach, and it was like 100 degrees outside Fahrenheit, and I was sweating so much, and my inside of my thighs were absolutely burning. And then when I came to the ocean at Bondi Beach to go for a swim, I couldn't wait to cool off my legs. And then the salt water made it burn even more. And that was kind of the point where I started thinking about what can I do to solve this problem.
I know the name of your company is the Naked Viking, and I know you're getting ready to launch, but if you don't mind telling us a little bit more about where you are in this process, because I think it's so exciting and so necessary that the listeners know because they may be in a similar place in their businesses.
Yeah, so we tested the demand for the product. We got a couple of pre-orders with confirmed transactions, and those transactions were enough for us to uh, kind of discover this idea a little bit more. So we started, uh, designing the shorts and all that, and kind of, preparing everything because as of right now, we don't have a product yet, but we're currently talking with manufacturers, and we're currently done designing pretty much the shorts, but we don't have a manufacturer yet. So we're currently working on that to get that sorted as quickly as possible so we can start getting the products sold and so people can actually buy it on our website.
That is awesome. And I love that you just mentioned the website. So is your company considered an e-commerce company? Is that mainly the model that you're setting up?
Yes, so that's the main way that we will be selling our product, and what we'll what we're doing right now is that we have a newsletter right now, so we talk about how we're building the business and share some inside stuff, behind the business, and like kind of process and progresses and things like that that we've made with our business, and we share that in our newsletter that we send out weekly. So the way we started was that we were chafing. So the name we came up with was, as you mentioned, Naked Viking. And the idea is that we wanted to create swim shorts that are so comfortable that it feels like you're naked. And then we wanted to use Viking because we're both Swedish. Uh, and the product is a pair of swim shorts that have an inside liner that is very soft to help prevent chafing. And we came up with that because we thought that that would be a good way to solve it, but we knew because there were already products like this on the market. So we thought, how can we make this different and special from all the other products that are already out there? And that's when we decided to incorporate our humor into this, our heritage, the way we are, Swedish heritage, our humor, and that's kind of how this uh, uh, was born. Um, so yeah.
I love that so much. And I also love that your business partner is your brother. So, what is it like having a business partner that you're related to and being on this journey, doing something together? What, I guess, significance does this have for your family? And what impact are you all looking to make?
So the way we work is, it kind of works well right now because we're very good friends. So we get along very well. We have the same kind of humor. So far it's been a lot of fun, but we've had a few challenges as well, and had a few arguments where I wanted to take the company to this direction and he wanted to take it in that direction, and then we had to reach a compromise. So you really learn how to communicate well with your partner, which I think is essential. Um, and that's kind of how it all, started, where we just start to learn from each other a little bit, and then you just move forward. Uh, and in terms of the impact that we want to create, so there's also an idea behind the product that we have where we want to differentiate ourselves, which is we want to create Wunjo, which is a runic script that our logo is based on. And Wunjo means joy or happiness. So what we want to do is with our brand is to create Wunjo, so meaning create happiness, create joy through a good product, people who don't chafe, and hopefully they laugh and chuckle a little bit when they read, you know, our product description or our emails or see an ad or whatever it might be.
I love that. That's awesome. I love that you brought up communication and compromise. Those are definitely some important things to have in entrepreneurship, whether it's whether you have a business partner that you're needing to communicate with, or your family at home, when your hours are not traditional 9 to 5 hours, being able to communicate with them, but also communicating with, your customer and vendors that you might be utilizing. So I love that you brought that up so much. Have you learned anything about yourself in this process as it relates to communication?
Yes, that a lot of things that you want might not essentially be something that the other person wants. And then you need to compromise on certain areas in order to reach a common ground, because otherwise you'll just be a dictator or a tyrant in the company where one, either I or him decide everything and the other one is just tagging along. And I think that for the long term, that's not something that's sustainable. So it's definitely that what you want might not always be what the other person wants. So you need to find a common ground. It's kind of like a little bit being in a relationship, with when you have a partner, you have to make compromises. You have to communicate well. It requires a lot of work to make the relationship work. And the same is with my brother as a business partner.
Mm, I love that. So I know I heard you mention that this is not your first business. So I know you've learned a lot of lessons. What can you say is the most important lesson you've learned as an entrepreneur that you wish you knew when you started?
Uh, this is a phrase that I live by, which is take it one step at a time, meaning you don't need to know everything at once. Just solve one little problem that's right in front of you, solve that, and
Mm,
then move on to the next thing. Have the big vision in view and look at it, but then remember to just look straight down to your feet and see what is the next step I can take to get me a little bit closer to that vision or destination I have. So take it one small step at a time.
that is so good. And I've never heard it put that way. A lot of times in conversation with other entrepreneurs, we'll say, dream big, start small. Because when you dream big, you have somewhere to go. But when you start small, you work on steps to get there. So I love that you're saying the same thing. And you and I have different backgrounds and cultures, but the way that you put that, right? Like just take it one step at a time. That's so good, Gabriel.
Thanks. It's otherwise it's just overwhelming. So especially when it's stressful and a lot is happening, it's one step at a time is really useful. So I just keep saying that in my head over and over again.
One step at a time. I love that. I love that. Let me ask you this. How do you approach innovation and staying ahead of any industry trends that might be out there for your industry?
I don't know if you can if you can stay ahead of industry trends, but what I think is a great way which I think many people lack today, which is to just focus on their own thing, try not to be someone else, try to find something that's unique about you as a person and the way you want to build your business. You find something that is, unique. So in our case, what we used was we're Swedish, so we used Vikings, and we uh, built kind of our entire brand around Viking related stuff, and we want to make comfortable shorts, and we want to, you know, don't chafe. We don't want to chafe. We want to create wunjo, and that's something that took a lot of time to figure out. But that's what I think. If you're just authentic and you make it personal and you do it in relation to something that makes, because every person is unique. So if you find that thing that's just a little bit unique about you and you apply that to your business, that's how I think you stand out from the rest.
That's awesome. I love that. My last question for you. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs who are just getting started?
Uh, I want to. Can I give two things? Because I know two
You can
things.
give two things. You can
So
give two things.
the first one I already mentioned, which was I wanna take it one step at a time. Doesn't matter how small the step is. And then the second thing is, and I think this is very important, is to test the demand of the product or service you're having. So test it out a little bit before you spend weeks and months building something that maybe no one even wants. We did that with Naked Viking, and hopefully it's going to save us a lot of time and effort, and it kind of validates that your idea is something that you can pursue.
I love that. Take it one step at a time. And then the second thing I heard you say was really about customer discovery. Keep
Yeah,
testing your ideas so you can make sure you have something your customers want.
exactly. And if it doesn't work out when you test it, maybe you don't need to scrap the entire idea. Maybe you just need to shift a little bit to find, to create a different angle that might make people more interested.
That's so good. I love that. That's some great advice to all my aspiring entrepreneurs out there, or those who maybe are in the concept stage or even operating. Don't sleep on this. You heard it here. Take it one step at a time. Keep testing your idea. You don't have to scrap it if it doesn't work, right? Be willing to shift and keep going from there. That is awesome. Gabriel, thank you so much for your time today. I know you're just getting back from a vacation. I'm not envious at all. We had to kind of delay our interview from when we met because you just got back from Spain with your girlfriend. How was your trip?
It was great. It was wonderful. I was there for a week with her. She is from Pamplona, so it's the famous city where the bulls run. But we just did, you know, we like hiking, so we went around in the mountains a little bit. We ate at some nice restaurants, played some tennis. We went out and partied for one night. So it was great. We gamed together as well, so we did that a little bit. Play Call of Duty. Uh, but that's basically what we did. We just hang out with each other. We just enjoy each other's time.
I love that. I love the fact that you not only take time for building your business with your brother, but that you find balance and you're able to travel and get a little bit of time off with your girlfriend as well. So maybe my next vacation needs to be to Spain so I can see the Bulls run. I'll have to talk with you offline about that. But thank you so much. And looking forward to folks connecting with you and learning more about your product and just seeing where you and your brother take this idea. It sounds like an amazing concept. And I'm just grateful that you took the time to share a little bit of your story here today.
Thank you. It was great being on here.
And that's it.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Entrepreneur Happy Hour. A big shout out to our guest today. Thank you for sharing your incredible journey and insights with us. If you would like to connect with them, their handles are in the description, but also if you go to our website, theentrepreneurhappyhour.com, you can find more information about them, be able to read a little bit about their story, and connect with them as well. We hope you found inspiration and valuable takeaways in today's conversation. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you enjoyed this episode. Stay connected with us on social media and visit our website for more episodes, sponsorship opportunities, and upcoming pop-up events. Until next time, make sure that you are chasing those dreams, and remember that success is just one step away. All right, that's it. Until next time, cheers.
The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the guest and not necessarily reflect the views of the host, Kimberlee Deneice, or the Entrepreneur Happy Hour podcast. This podcast is a project of the Flourishing Agency, LLC.